you guys doing today? My name is Anima and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle for you all, this time against Jerry. Hey Jerry, thank you for appearing on the channel today. It's an absolute pleasure. There will be a question of the day at the end of the video. Can we get this video to 100 likes? Is that even possible? That's an awfully high number. Can we climb it together? You let me know, make your decisions at the end of the video, of course. So, this is a OU mixed game. Maximum 3 OU was the only prerequisite, and I'm going to hit play, and you're going to see precisely what I saw. So, Jerry is issuing that challenge. It's pretty spoopy if you ask me. So I decided to lead with Flossie because Stealth Rocks are great, and he has no spinner. Possible defogger is the Crobat, but we're just going to go for the rocks anyway, because why the fuck not? And Crobat is a fairly obvious lead on his team, so we are going to go for those rocks, and out comes bloody Blastoise, and I'm like, I realised very belatedly, this is a Mega. And I was like, oh dear. Yeah, no, that's not very good at all. Mega Blastoise is like gigantic number 2 my team. I can't really touch it very well. My only defense against this is my Thunderous T. So we do get the rocks up, and I actually predict the Water Pulse. It's the obvious play. And my opponent is going to Mega Evolve. So we're going to see if I predicted correctly, if Jerry did in fact go for the Water Pulse, because if he did, I would survive and I'll be able to counterattack it with a Hidden Power Electric. But Jerry makes a great prediction, goes for the Aura Sphere, and knowing that I have to switch and hit Slim Jim for super effective damage. It's a one-hit KO. I can't survive that. And the slimmest of gyms is just going to die. This has been the flavour of the month. I've been losing Greninja very, very early on. I'm not really sure why. So if you see a Greninja on my team and you battle me this week, don't worry about it, because it's probably going to die, so. My opponent does have to switch out if he wants to keep his Blastoise, because Zeodine does not fuck around. We're going to go for that Life Orb boosted Thunderbolt 2, and it's going to do gigantic damage to Tangrowth, even as a resisted hit. Holy crap! But Tangrowth's special defense is terrible. It's very bad. Physical defense is extreme, special defense terrible. So we are free to go for another Thunderbolt because it was a 2-hit KO on the Tangrowth, and we do catch the Diancie. My opponent is trying to preserve the Tangrowth, trying to heal with the Regenerator, and it does a gigantic amount of damage to Diancie. So it's like, Zeodine is honestly just having a field day right now. We're going to go for that next T-Bolt. There's no reason for me to go for anything else, and my opponent has to make a sacrifice here. Switches out the Crobat and lets it die to the Zeodine machine. If you know what the reference is to, let me know in the comments section down below. You have good taste in games as well. So out comes Metagross. I don't know what this thing wants to do to me, but I can't one-shot it, so I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. Just try and get the hell out of there, and go into someone more suitable to take hits, so I do go into Zipper, predicting the Steel-type move, as my opponent does in fact go for the Meteor Mash. Mercifully, after checking stars at my face, they don't get an attack boost. I don't see how these things are related, but yeah, Jesus. So my opponent is going to go into Diancie. I kind of just clicked Flare Blitz, and I was like, YOLO, I'm not going to like associate myself with anything. I'm just going to disassociate all responsibility from the situation now. And I don't mind that the Diancie is still alive, because it's a 2-hit KO anyway. And yeah, so Diancie's kind of floating around, very pointy bum. Actually, Darmanitan's got quite a pointy bum as well. Is this some kind of pointy bum convention? I'm not really sure. Anyway, we're going to go for the second Flare Blitz. It's going to take out the Diancie. And I'm honestly just kind of like, yeah, whatever, fine. But this is a free switch into the Blastoise, who obviously resists Flare Blitz. And at this point, I'm like, well, I'm just going to stay in, and I'm just going to go for it, because Darmanitan, Adamant, Sheer Force, Flare Boost. Let's see how much damage this does. Does a clean, like, 40%, I think. This is a resisted hit. What the hell? Get a Darmanitan. Holy shit. My opponent does go for the Dark Pulse, which is a good play, because nobody on my team would resist that if I switched out, and it would have killed Darmanitan anyway. So we go into Zeodine, who's pretty much the MVP right now for my team, and we go for the Thunderbolt, which is going to take out the Blastoise. At this point, I'm feeling fairly comfortable. I'm feeling like things are just going to point to my Tyranitar needing to come out at some point after the Metagross and so on are dead. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. I go for the T-Bolt, and I'm thinking it could kill because of the damage that Volt Switch did earlier, but apparently not. Metagross is going to hold on and go for the Meteor Mash. I haven't seen what item this thing has yet. As far as I'm aware, it could be banded, but I'm not completely sure. I don't see a Life Orb. I don't see a Balloon. Could be Assault Vest, but it's not taking special hits. Amazing, so I'm not really sure. At all. So has the ability to switch moves, goes to the Zen Head, but Frosty unfortunately flinches, and this kind of sucks a bit. This does suck a bit, but you know what, hacks happens, and my opponent is free to go for the second Meteor Mash, and that's going to hurt my feelings. Finally getting the attack raise as I go for Earthquake. I suspect that the Metagross is Assault Vest, or although that's not really my hunch, or perhaps Muscle Band, the item that boosts every physical move by like 10% or something. Like a mini life orb without the damage or as much output. So my opponent is now free to go into the Tangrowth, and I'm gonna go for the Slack Off because I just want to try and preserve Flossie, because I love Flossie, you know, I love Flossie very much. I think she's gorgeous. But my opponent does predict the out switch and goes for the Leech Seed, and this is honestly not particularly great. Also, I did consider that my opponent would go for the Leech Seed because I didn't want anybody else to get seeded, and I can't really bring in my Tyranitar on this thing because I want to set up. I need to set up at some point, and I can't set up on something that can seed me, as well as deal super effective damage on me. Excuse me. So, not really amazing. I did decide to go for the Roar, just trying to deal damage across the team. My opponent's forced out into the Porygon Z, and I wanted this thing to come out. I wanted this thing to come out because I wanted to lose Flossie, bring in my Tyranitar. These things, Porygon Zs are normally choiced in some way. They're usually Scarfed or Specs, and I can resist a Tri-Attack. I can eat up a Choice Specs Tri-Attack, no problem. I can set up all over this thing with my Tyranitar, and I can win. I could even get to like +3 with my Dragon Dances. So with that in mind, I do decide to bring in Psycho. I could get to +3, of course, if my opponent stays in. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I just need to Mega Evolve. I can bite this thing in the face, and that is going to be fine. That is going to be totally fine. So I wanted to go for the Crunch, just to see how much damage it would do, and just in case my opponent switched out, because honestly, I was expecting the out switch, in case this thing was Scarfed. So I did expect the out switch, but I did get burnt. I did get burnt. So that's a 30% chance, sort of, with all the other effects of Tri-Attack, and that really, really, really stinks. Of course, please, let's not boohoo Jerry, let's please not boohoo my opponent, because Hax is uncontrollable, but undeniably this does cripple my Tyranitar extremely, and I'm already on a timer. If I'd gotten through that Haxus, I could have bitten the damn duck another time, I could have set up, I could have done whatever. But look at look at this! Tyranitar kind of looks like a pointy nacho thing from Taco Bell. You know when they use the Dorito nachos? Doesn't look like that at all. What am I talking about? Ignore me. You got weird fingers on your back. Basically what's going to happen now is I'm going to try and bite things. I'm going to try and hope for the critical hit, but I've been seeded. I am burnt. I'm going to die in perhaps 2 or 3 turns. Out comes the Porygon Z as I go for the Crunch. I'm a bit confused by this play, but I do believe my opponent was trying to heal themselves. Either way, Porygon Z is going to get buffeted by the Storm and die after Crunch damage. And right now, I'm just going to take this little iteration of Burn, but the next turn, because I'm still seeded, I didn't take seed damage there because there's nothing for the seeds to go to. Just how to bite this thing. It's noodle soup! Die! Look at it! Just swaying around as it dances on my grave. Goodness gracious. So, out comes the Giga Drain. We're not going to die to Burn and Leech Seed. Thankfully, we die with a bit of honor, even if we did lose to a board of noodles. I don't really want to think about that. We're going to go into Nasher. Nasher is my last Pokemon. Tangrowth is my opponent's last Pokemon. I go for the Intimidate. It's bloody useless. Tangrowth is this one is a special attacker. We go for the Play Rough. Doesn't do anywhere near the damage we need, and my opponent, to top it all off, is packing the Sludge Bomb. Super effective special damage on the Nash. Oh man indeed. So we're just going to keep going for the Play Rough, hoping for the ultimate mega crit of the year, as my opponent is free to go for the second Sludge Bomb, and that's going to take out Nasher! And that is going to be the game. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for the challenge. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the channel today. Guys, I do hope you enjoyed that battle very much so, as much as I did playing it. The question of the day is, in fact, what is your favorite thing about yourself? So folks, let me know your favorite thing about yourself, be it your left third eyelash from the right, on your left eye. That was my right eye? No, that's my left eye. Okay, great. Left and right. Ooh, challenge. 22 years of age to remember one's left and right. Yeah, be it a physical feature, be it a emotional feature. You can leave both if you want to. Whatever you'd like, answer as much or as little detail as you want. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye!